You're not answering. Unavailable. Calling you again. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for the call. Seems to be a browser issue there, and we're gonna work on a Go JSON manipulation. So today, Wikips did his first bot, guys, a Twitch chat bot, but you know, it to his credit, he used only the low-level API. So he connected directly to IRC, parsed the messages, did the connection, the handshakes, showed his OAuth token a couple times on the stream, which was funny. But this is his 35th day of learning to code. I didn't do these things in my 35th day of trying to code. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right. Let me share a screen. So do you want to drive this or you want to navigate? What do you want to do?
I think navigate may be easier at the moment, so let's go with that.
Okay. So let me see how I can share a screen here. How do you share screen? Okay, so I want application window and the iTerm. Okay. My dog almost dropped my my green screen. So let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Okay, so stop it. Sorry, not you, my dog. All right, so GitHub com cancel dev, and let's do like JSON sample or something. So make dir -p JSON sample dot some, I don't know, JSON sample. Okay, cool. So now here we are going to create a main.go. Now, what do we want to do here? What do we want to like verify?
So I think we were talking about for the ETL that I'm building with the RabbitMQ to Elasticsearch.
Yeah.
We have a CODIF JSON document which has many layers down, and the question is, can we take that and modify it and send it on dealing with structs and marshalling properly? So I can send you over a example of a CODIF document.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and send it. You can send it as a like an attachment on Discord. Let me know when you sent it. Okay, so for example, so here's what we for sure can't do. I think the thing that we for sure can't is handling anything with, structs and like static parsing of data. I think this is one thing we for sure can't do. All right, so let's go here and mv downloads cat f. This one, the cat of example JSON.
Correct.
Is it safe to open it on the stream?
It is.
Okay. So this one. Okay, so we have an index, a type ID, score, and source, and then we have a payload. Okay, so what I see is 1, 2, 3 levels really of maps, but the thing is, what I see is that it's map of string of map of string and string. I mean, that's the only kind of level that you have. But let's talk about what we need to modify here.
So for the transforms that currently exist, I'm going to send those over to you now and attach them. And you'll see that they're not all that exotic.
Okay.
So it may be something that we don't need to do too much.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do
Attaching that now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'm looking at this. Just one moment. No, I don't want to disagree. Okay. So let's open downloads and readme.md. This is the one you sent right now.
Correct.
Okay. Well, it's blank.
It is not blank. 1 second. I had to shut off auto saving because it was
No,
Go formatting me to hell.
You can see on Discord as well. It's 0 bytes.
1 second. Sorry, resending.
No problem.
Apologies for the delay. Here it comes.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, 0 bytes again. Okay. I'm going to paste spin it to you. It's really quite small.
Okay, paste bit. No problem. All right.
Pasting now and getting that to you.
Okay, paste bin. Well, I see it's still the readme.md. Okay, now I see.
There you go.
Okay. So I can show this on the stream.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
By the way, just assume everything I will have changed or something so that we can show it on stream.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
problem.
You know, now that you say that, then I will not ask again. But you know, I can't really assume that. Okay, so we have a filter, and if identity.authenticate in event type, then drop. So you drop everything.
So drop everything with that prefix in event type, yes.
And if DNS dot, drop everything.
Correct.
If tenant ID and this, so if the project ID, wait, so if not tenant ID and the blank string is in project, then mutate and then add field tenant ID and add the project.
Correct.
Okay.
So basically, if there's no tenant ID, fill it.
Yeah. So this is easy. I don't even I'm not even worried about that at all. This, however, is harder.
I'm not seeing anything on your screen indicating which one you're looking at.
Oh, yeah. So the tenant ID and project and then mutate, that's the one I'm worried about. Basically, all the mutates with add fields, so line 10 and line 13 and line 16, those are the one I'm worried about, not the ones with like looking for the content.
Well, that's all fairly the same. It's essentially saying if tenant ID isn't there, fill it.
Yeah.
And it's just basically repetitions of that. It's that these fields need to be existing.
Yeah.
So they should already exist in the JSON, but they may be empty. If empty, fill them. So place that in the JSON document.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would want to do is try something here. So here's what I'm going to try to do. Here. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so here. So we're gonna do main.go, and we're gonna import sys because I want to read from std_in. And what I want is to parse the JSON into maps of strings. And what I would expect is to have at least a decent representation of that JSON. Now the problem is that to read from std_in, we are reading it line by line. Okay, so I'm googling now read file from std_in Go, just to get like a full understanding of what we are against here. Yeah, so read all. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, so we have this one with bytes and error, and this is reading the std_in. And then if error, so here, error is not nil, then we're gonna panic with the error. I don't really care about this right now. Now, what we want to do is parse the JSON into a map of strings. So here, this is what I would do. So this would be a map of string. And here is json.onMarshall, and this is going to be bytes, and this. Okay, and then error, then
And BYTES.
panic error. Yeah, you're right. BYTES. And then here we can do fmt.print line and just print m. Right? So then we'll do cat, what is it? Cat if example, and pipe it into go run main.go. Okay. And I'm missing an import. Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, so can't unmarshal object into go value of type string. And yeah, this is what I was worried about. Because it's a multi-level type of thing. And now no, we can't even have a dynamic structure. Okay, so we're moving on.
One option might be to go the struct route and to take the example JSON, use one of those web JSON to structs creators, and then basically try to deal with any edge cases and get it into that struct. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, not really. What are you saying?
Have you used the JSON to struct online programs before?
Yeah.
So they have a JSON to Go converter set for you now. It allows you to paste JSON in and it will give you the valid struct for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't really do that, right?
Well, what I'm saying is maybe we can, right? So if the differences are that we're just missing fields, but the rest of the structure is the same, we can put it into that struct with where it's just going to be missing values and then check for those, right?
Well, yeah, but then when you want to marshal it back, then you're going to have a problem because it's only going to marshal what you have. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's not going to marshal empty values.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
One thing I want to do is look at raw message here and print message here, and then here message as well. And here, this is going to be that. So cat env declared but not used. So here, print env. Okay. So this is better. Now here, let's make this into a string. Okay. So this is the raw message. So that's good. Now, the thing is, how can I use that?
I think there's an example in the raw message for encoding JSON.
So let's look at that. So I'm looking at the raw message documentation. And let's see. So we have raw message. And raw message. So we have a marshal and unmarshal. So yeah, so you can take it and unmarshal it. The question is, how can I read data from it? So taking it back and marshaling it and unmarshal, that's okay. Now the question is, how can I get data from it?
How do we turn it into a data type that we can
Yeah,
do
so
something
how can I check, for example, how can I check if we take your gist here, your paste bin, how do I check DNS dot in like event type?
right. How do you get a JSON attribute?
Yeah. So first of all, this is a promising direction. So let's look at README here. Not README, sorry. So catif example. Where is event type? So event type is in source.
Underscore source, yes.
Yeah. So let's look at raw message example and see like how can we get attributes from it. Where is it? Does it have a get? Or what is this thing? So raw message. Yeah, there is a type. Oh, so it's just bytes. Raw message is a raw encoded JSON value. It implements marshaller and unmarshaller. So it doesn't really do us any good. Because it's just raw bytes. Okay. So a token holds a value of these. So we have numbers. Okay. One thing that I can try to do is maybe work with one of the packages that makes JSON into an XPath kind of thing. So there is Gabs. I'm passing it in the chat room now. And Gabs, you can basically say JSON parse.exist and then outer, inner, and then value. And you can have a parse path like does dot not dot exist, and then you can have a data. My only question would be, how can I set values? Oh, so here I can do json.b.set and then outer inner value. Oh, that is interesting. So let's import this here. Main.go. And let's import here. Oh. Okay, so now let's start. So we have a Gabs.parseJSON here. This one here. So JSON parsed is parse JSON, and we pass in the bytes, right? So this is going to be bytes. Okay, now we get this value and OK. So let's take source and event type dot data, and then this is going to be string. And fmt dot print line value, and then OK. Go imports and cat this. Oh, go get. So sorry, go get. Let's get this. And now here. What? Oh, here. Value and OK here. Sorry about that. OK. Env declare but not use. OK, so we're not using the envelope, so let's remove it. So we're not using the message and we're not using the envelope, so we can also remove this type. All right, cat. Oh, man, OK. So this one, go imports and cat. Boom, we get false. Why did we get false? We get false because it's not OK. So we didn't get the value. So let's look at this here. So source. Oh, and event type is not underscored, right? Are you here? Hello? Am I talking to myself? Hello? I think you're on mute. Because I can't hear you. Which explains why you're so quiet. Oh, look at that. We get dns.domains.update. Oh, look at that. Okay.
That's great, though.
Well, now I can hear you. I think it was my I think it was my headphones chiming out because it's like Bluetooth headphones, so it goes into like this battery saving mode. Okay.
Okay.
So here we get source.event type, and I get this DNS thing. So dns.domain.update. So that is perfect. Now, what I want is to do something like this. Let's set the data. So set. So let's take one of your examples here. And this is going to be the JSON parsed dot set. And let's see, what do we want to set? So we put like so we add the tenant ID to the top of the object. Where do we add the tenant ID, for example?
So for example, if payload tenant ID in line 12 on the paste bin would add the tenant ID at the top of the object. Yes.
Okay. So so I see we always add to the top of the object.
Yes.
We either use domain, but it's always we adding to the top of the object, and
Yes.
we're adding a string.
Yes.
Okay. So let me check here for the top. You know what? Let me add something fake, right? So let's add, what is this 30? So the documentation here said 30. So set. I'm looking at this code now. So I want to see what this. Oh, it's value interface and then path. Okay, got it. So the first one is the value. So let's say this is going to be something, and then I'm going to add it to fake value cancel dev, just so we have something.
Is it set L or set?
Yeah, it's set. This is a fat finger. So now what I want is to basically puke out that JSON object.
Makes sense.
So I'm looking at the documentation again, and then outputting, converting back to JSON. There it is. So yeah, we have a JSON output, and it's as simple as that. So this is JSON output. And then we can do fmt dot print line JSON output. Let's do go imports just to see something, and then do this. Okay, so parsed object. What? Oh, here. So JSON parsed here. Cut. Awesome. So there it is. Look. So fake value cancel dev is something. Well, we've proved it. We're done.